Oh, whoops.
Whoa, that was quick.
We're here.
Yeah, that was a quick transition.
What did I do? I don't know what I did there,
Yeah.
but we're here now. I messed up our intro, or our little...
Or stinger. That's what it's called.
Okay, I messed up
Transition.
our stinger. Welcome,
Dennis.
Yeah, we are here. That was it.
Yeah, that was jarring.
Quick, right at it. Jarring for us. Normally we have a time to talk about you, find people before we jump into
That's
it.
why we're always late.
Yeah.
Hey, Pat, to dads, May isn't a review, right? Preview?
All the same.
It's the month of May.
Yeah.
Talking about April.
Yeah.
It's to get you hooked.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
We got you. You're here, so it
Gotcha.
worked.
And it's actually, I think, our slowest month since we've started this whole thing. Mm-hmm. That's what we were talking about. I thought originally it was 19 games, but turns out 4 of those games we actually played together. So 15 games total.
15 games.
15 games total.
I would like to say 15 quality bangers, but I don't know that they all are.
So
For sure.
I think there's technically 16 games, but neither of us recorded one of them on our stats. And I remember just saying, we don't need to even talk about that one.
Yeah, we played a boo-boo game in there that not worth talking about.
Yeah. I'd be here even if it was dad's doing dumb stuff. Jackass.
That is what we're doing.
That is what we're doing. Talking about games.
Yeah, we are.
Two
Doing
30-year-old
dumb
guys
stuff,
talking
so.
about games.
No, it's just been a busy month, I think, really, for both of us overall. I went to Disney World.
Yeah.
So that was a blasty blast. But if you've ever been to Disney World, it's one of those places you have to have a vacation when you get back.
Before and after.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at. Not that Disney World wrecked me, but I got back. I was back for a little bit, and now I'm fighting a sickness. So, yeah, it's just been a down month that way for me.
Yeah, and then actually both of us, we've been training for some running stuff coming up. So both of us have increased our running mileage or working out just in general. So that's taken up gaming time, just other hobbies. So not a bad thing, but still playing stuff, still getting stuff done. Important information, games, boo-boo game, don't play, don't get it.
Yeah, we just don't want to talk about it. It was a really bad game.
We'll DM you later about it.
Yeah.
So you can skip it. But yeah, so we have our 15 games. We've got one set up here that we're excited to play after this. But yeah, so we can go ahead and get started with our games.
With number 1 being the Anarchy. So yeah, the Anarchy and Scar of Bray, both of which we're going to talk about, just arrived. You got both of them?
I did get both of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think we
both
got both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I got to play the Anarchy. I did my live stream, just went for it, right? And I'm like cocky.
I got it. I played Hadrian's Wall.
I'm a Hadrian's Wall veteran. Played that 20 plus times. Why do easy difficulty? There's 3 difficulties. I'm starting with medium. That's average.
Medium is average.
I'm also an average guy. Let's call it that.
I think you're above average gamer. That's just my take.
I like that. Thanks, Paul. But I'm okay with just playing the average. Occasionally, I'll dip into playing the harder. Like I played Circadians a lot, where I'll play harder on that. But
Insane.
I think I have done the hardest difficulty once. But anyway, most games I'm like average is totally fine.
Learn today.
Yeah, I'm gonna learn. And so anyway, I played on medium, and I got rocked. That game has so many intricacies of what works with what. This does that, and this has even more. That I just got rocked. So I played it again then on easy. Did quite a bit better. There's a lot to explore. There's a lot of income.
Mm-hmm.
So you have income for your wood, your silver, and your...
The 4 workers.
Wasn't there 3
Is there
resource
beer?
things?
I know there's beer, but I don't
there
know if
is
there's
beer.
food.
Isn't there? Food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
food.
Okay. So you have income for those 3. Mm-hmm. Then you have income for the workers. So you have the yellow workers, the yellow and the red being like the primary, easier to get incomes. The blue being the stronger workers, and then the white workers being your
Right side of the
yeah,
board.
it really throws me off them not being the
Not
yellow.
being yellow, yes. I don't know why they couldn't have made them the yellow ones
Yeah,
still.
I totally agree. I wish they had not changed that. But anyway, so there's just a lot, and there's no way you're gonna. I'm gonna say it's 2 playthroughs in. I cannot say for sure, but I doubt there's a way you're like maximizing all of that in. Oh, and then there's no. I said money. Yeah. But anyway, so there's just a lot of income. So I think there's a lot of paths to explore. Like, I have this gut feeling that there's like probably a way where you can maximize your black worker. Oh yeah, and there's black workers. It's 5 worker type of income.
That's right.
Your black worker income and your wood income, and that lets you build all your defenses.
So that way you're not getting the disdain. Is that what it is?
Yeah, but like then you just like be real good on defenses, but you may not get points otherwise. So I don't know. I'm excited to play it more for sure before I dip into the
campaign.
The campaign, and then the campaign is 20 games this time. Oh, also that's where I know I went wrong. The campaign, the set I played starts on, I think it's campaign 6. Okay.
What do you mean the set you played?
Of difficulty. The card set I played is campaign 6 in that. And it goes all the way, you're using basically that or those until 16 of 20 in the campaign. That's like the main... And I was like, oh, I definitely shouldn't have done that for my first game at all, right?
So, because I haven't played it yet, you get to choose like a set of cards? Like there's different sets of cards that like you go through, or? Yeah,
so it has a deck that's numbered 1 through like 60, I think it is. And when you do the difficulties, right? The difficulty I did said use cards 1 through 5. And then use card difficulty easy uses cards 1 through 5. The next uses 6 through 10.
Okay.
But there's a whole deck up to 60, and so in the campaign, it's going to tell you use cards 1, 2, 3, and 7, or something like that, right? It's going to tell you what cards to use
for
that
the
way.
setup. Okay.
Like I know some of them were like 4B was one of the cards, right? You'd use 1, 2, 3, 4B, and 5 or whatnot.
Interesting.
And I did preview, and I thumbed my way kind of through it. And there's some that I couldn't even tell you what they are. They are not castles. Like it's something.
It's just something completely different.
Totally different. So I'm like pretty excited to get to it.
That's cool. That's real cool.
But that's going to be what I guess changes from game to game. I don't know. It might also limit you in the rules of what you can do, what you can't do. Not really sure. And
yeah, because I know that's with like Hadrian's Wall. It was more of just like this game you can only do the gladiators, or this game don't do the priests or stuff like that. And it's like they didn't have much other variation to the game, right? It was you're still getting the same picked attacks. You're still going to be building the wall from this direction to this direction, whatever it might be, right? With this one, it does seem like there's just so much more interconnective weaving of different things that you can do.
Yeah.
So.
Dennis, we'll get to it. That was Scar Bray. That had all the resources.
I was trying to think of what it was. This was the flipping right.
And so also, I don't know if you've looked at this at all, but that was standard mode I played, or whatever they call it. They also have what's called siege mode. In siege mode, you don't attack. You just have stronger attacks against you.
So you're just trying to build
You're just defending. And in the campaign, you go back and forth. Like you'll do a standard, you'll do a siege. Like it'll tell you what you're doing. So
Very cool.
you'll have some rounds where you have to defend heavy, and then some you're having to go out and attack.
That's pretty cool.
I'm excited for the campaign, for sure. I think it's 20 games this time. So.
Yeah, it's definitely 20. And then, I texted you. I saw that Bobby Hill, the designer, he's even talked about doing more games for a campaign for this one in the future. So if you liked Hadrian's Wall and you need more, check out the Anarchy.
So actually, and it's kind of, that answers my question. What we talked about was, I was like an expansion or just like more scenarios. But really, you could sell it as a deck of cards, because that cards is all that's different game to game. So They just sell a deck of cards that's
that's the expansion that makes more campaign.
Campaign 2 is,
It's a Tome Saga size box with a deck of cards and a new scenarios.
Yeah.
So yeah, should be pretty cool.
Okay. Anyway, that is the Anarchy. Clank. We'll breeze through this because technically I talked about this when Paul played with his wife last month. But Lacey and I played. We played a couple of the other asymmetrical players. I can't even remember how I played because I did that literally at the beginning of the month.
Was this one that you did live?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you played this one live, and I think you were the big guy.
I was the big guy. And I got rewarded for when I bashed people. And then Lacey...
And you didn't bash enough people.
I didn't bash enough people. That was a mistake. Lacey beat me, didn't she?
Sure. I think so.
And then... Lacey went. But we've been enjoying, so we actually have 2 more asymmetric people to play. One is MonkeyBot 9000. So if you ever play Clank, he shows up
an actual card
throughout the cards, MonkeyBot or something related to him.
And he's even the monkey that there's treasures.
Yeah, he's always about getting Clank. So we haven't spoiled to see what's ahead, but I assume his is about getting Clank.
Some type of Clank.
And then there's the cat, the Mr. Bigglesworth or whatnot, that's in a lot of the various Clank stuff. And he is always about dragon attacks. So I assume his board's going to be something about dragon attacks.
You are definitely going to get MonkeyBot. You love getting Clank.
Yeah, Lacey would not enjoy
that
game style.
You love getting Clank.
In the slightest. I will definitely play that. Anyway, that is for the future, but Clank, great game as always. I keep hitting the wrong hotkey.
All right, we've got Escape from the Moon. This one, as you can see on there, it's got Chinese on it. This was originally a Chinese game that was just reprinted into English. It is a deck builder, solo-only deck builder, where you are... I forget how many cards you have. 2, 6, 8, 9... I think it's 9 to 11, somewhere in there. I don't remember. Hey, Patrick. And so in this game, what you're doing is you have an astronaut, and you're trying to escape from the moon. So you have a bunch of cards kind of laid out in front of you. And then you have a deck of cards. And this deck of cards acts as your resources and as your action that you're doing. So in order to play an action, you have to discard cards. So if you want to do this action and it costs 2, you have to discard 2 cards, and then you get to do the action. So what you'll do is you'll be traveling around this layout, and you are going to be exploring them. So you explore this area, and it's either going to give you some type of benefit that you can do, or it's going to give you a new card to add onto your deck. Anytime that you run through your deck, you will burn some oxygen, and that is kind of the timer of the game. So you don't want to go through all your oxygen. So you're really trying to build up your deck to make it really thick so that you can have longer turns. And then you're also trying to improve that strength of your cards so that eventually you can research or explore different areas that are higher value. To then eventually, the last card to escape from the moon, you need to have 20 strength, and you have to be able to play all the cards and pay for them kind of thing. So it's a pretty cool little progression of just starting off with really nothing and then building up your deck and trying to get it really strong. It has I think it's Aeon's End, where you don't shuffle the deck. Is that so it's got that same kind of mechanic. So whenever you're discarding cards, it's actually kind of important. You have to think about, I'm going to do this one first because this will come first and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. I meant to bring it because I do think that you'll enjoy it. It plays in 15 to 20 minutes. It's got a little scenario. I think it's 3 different scenarios on there. My only concern with it is I think you thick deck with you, yes. But with this one, my only concern is I'm not sure about the replayability, because the places that you're exploring are always the same. So I know the first card to go explore should be, I forget what it's called right now, but it's the value 2 card, because as soon as you explore it, it turns into a value 6 card. And it's super strong. So you want to go there first kind of thing. But, for 15, 20-minute gameplay, it's pretty fun.
How much did the game cost?
So, I actually don't know. Salt and Pepper Games sent it to us. I want to say it's probably 20.
Yeah, because it's probably fine that it doesn't have...
That's that kind of game, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not... You don't want it... You don't need it to be a... There it says, typically $23.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like a $20 game, right?
Yeah,
It's a filler game.
You play through the scenarios once, maybe twice. I don't know. That seems
And then you
fine,
just come back to it and go from there. So,
looks...
yeah, overall, it's a fun game. It definitely is good. It's super funny. Salt and Pepper Games, like I said, they sent it to us. They're the same people that published Conserve Us, the solo-only bag builder, and this other game that they sent us. For this game, it's, I don't know, it's probably 30 cards in total. They sent 30 cards in English, 30 cards in Spanish. Like, I could give you all the English cards and I could keep the Spanish ones.
Yeah.
And I've got the game. Like, I could just 100% play it. So I don't know if it's the most cost-effective way that they're doing it, because they did that with Conserve Us also and with this other game.
Yeah.
Because the normal person is just going to trash 30 cards because they're Spanish. Like, you can't do anything with it. So, but it's a fun one. It's definitely good. If you like just a quick deck builder, I would definitely recommend it. So I'll bring it to you next time.
Sounds good. Excuse me. Galileo Galilee. We streamed this, right?
We did.
Did we stream it or we
recorded
this?
No, we streamed it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think we talked about this.
We did. We talked about it quite a bit.
My thoughts haven't really changed. Honestly, I've kind of forgotten the game. You had your
telescope.
That you
the
picked your
selection.
actions.
Trying to see what you think or what you remember.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really remember much. And then you're collecting planets.
Yeah. So you have the card river, the cards out there, right, in the open. And then you have your dice, right? You have the 3-colored dice, the red, the yellow, and the blue.
Oh,
and you're trying to increase the value of those dice and then do the scholar's mechanic of blending them in order to observe either the large observations or the small observations or whatever they are to get like the planets or to do the constellations. There was the university track that you're going up that will do endgame scoring stuff. There was the library that you have your book where you're putting the books on there and then you're moving the person all the way down and you're triggering all the actions from when you're getting those observations. So I think the game is good. I really do enjoy it. I think it's not an amazing game, but it is a good game. I think that's kind of where it lands. It's a good game in the sense that there's tons of games coming out constantly. It's a game that I will always play. I think the action selection was really cool on it, right? You've got you can go 1 to 3 actions, and depending what you do, you get to choose, either the top or the bottom action. I think that was done really well. I definitely wanted to try it at a higher player count. I know I mentioned this during our 2-player one, but I don't know if it's going to make much difference. I want that tableau out on the board. I want the cards. I want those to kind of like cycle through a little bit faster. But again, I didn't get to play it at all player counts. I wish I would have played it a little bit more just to see how that really is. But I think it's a good game. That's kind of where I stand on it. I would always play it. Don't think I need it in my collection, but it's good.
Yeah, and I think because I cannot remember much about it, says a lot in that they're going to be a forgotten game in no time. I'll say the action selection part to me, I think, would have significantly benefited from being a shared style. Like if everybody shared one telescope.
Okay.
Versus everybody having their own, because it was not long enough. Like the rondelle of it was not long enough to to make you do a variety of different things. Like
you could go through 2 cycles to hit the same kind of action every time. Hey, Michael.
But the game didn't necessarily benefit you then from drilling one thing. Like you would run out of whatever they were, constellations to do, right? So I don't know, it was weird that we each had our own in that way, and I think there probably would have been a whole lot more play if it was a shared thing, like, okay, so I can move 1 to 3, and Paul wants to do the asteroids, so let me skip over that and do this other thing.
So that he doesn't get the chance to do that.
Type of thing.
That'd be interesting.
Personally. But then the upgrading wouldn't work. I guess you just have to have something off to your side that, you know, when you do this, you get something more powerful or whatnot. Anyway.
Yeah.
Regardless,
you obviously don't remember it that much, so there's nothing that that sticks out to you. Like I said, I think it's a good game. I think I talked to Ian about it a little bit, maybe with you. I think the theme kind of like sticks out to me. Not that it's super thematic or anything like that, but it just reminds me a lot of, you know, growing up with my dad had all the telescopes. Yeah,
it's a theme you like. This game is not a thematic game.
It's not very
at all.
Thematic, yeah.
This game is straight pasted on theme, but you like
but I do
the
like
theme.
The pasted on theme. Yes.
Yeah, you like the theme that it actually represents.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's good, but with so many good games out there, I think, like you said, I think it could just be a forgotten one in due time. I will always play it. I think it's good. Nothing phenomenal.
Yep. Great Western Trail, New Zealand. Been on a kick of getting to play these, which is great. Every time I play one, I realize I'm going to call it Great Western Trail, and that's going to lump in all of them. I think the more I play it, the more I'm like, oh, this is like a top game for me. I really enjoy Great Western Trail, right? All of these are basically the same, feel the same to me. They're just a lot of fun. So this one was sheep instead of cows.
So different.
I still called it cows probably 75% of the time, and the guys kept joking, there's no cows in this game, you know? Which became its own funny thing. What I will say, I played with John and his crew from St. Louis, and we all had a blast. I think everybody did. Had a lot of fun. It was a little bit over a 4-hour game because they had never played any Great Western Trail, and I would probably say this is not the one to start with. Now, I did tell them because they played this,
they can play any of the other ones.
They can breeze through standard Great Western Trail now. But this one is just, it has so much other bits.
Extra parts to
it. So it has an entire board on top of it. That is basically the Rails to the North board is built into the base game of this.
Okay.
So instead of moving a train, you're moving a boat. But it functions exactly like Rails to the North does, where it gives you new spots to deliver to. What I really enjoyed about this one is, so the other two had the 3 standard workers, and then Argentina added the what were they? They were the
farmer,
the farmers that got grain or whatever.
Granjeros,
that's what it was. So this one adds its 4th worker is a shearer. And you can shear sheep. But what's really cool is you can shear sheep at the shear sheep spot, and it works like a delivery. You use your hand of cards, no duplicates.
Okay.
They have their point value, and then they have a shear value.
That's cool.
Right? And so it gives you almost another
delivery spot.
Quote unquote delivery, but time where you recycle your hand, you get money for it.
Cool.
So I really enjoyed it. I went in because that was the newest mechanic that I went heavy in that. I honestly had a really lot of fun. We did the most standard setup because I'm like, they hadn't played Great Western Trail. We're already adding a lot. We're going A to G, we're doing all A buildings. But it was really cool. I have to compliment John. He took my advice and midway through the game, because I told everybody, I'm like, the beginning of the game, they're like, I don't know where to go. And I'm like, look, go to spot A.
Yeah.
Have this first one doing everything. I'll do it too. Like, it'll be fine. It gives you a chance to know.
To experience the game.
Yeah, know what every spot is doing, right? And that probably added to time. But that's what we did. Literally our first path to not wherever we went, wherever you go in that game. I don't remember.
Auckland? I don't know. It's the only place in New Zealand I know.
Yeah, so wherever we went. We did every spot. But I said, like, as the game goes, you're going to want to, like, skip these and do that. And John, man, he built up his speed, and he was doing, like, 1, 2, delivery. 1, 2, delivery. And he had that hammered. So, anyway, it was a whole lot of fun. Am I going to pick up El Paso? I don't know. I don't know that it interests me. That's the best way to put it.
It's too simple.
Yeah. And beyond, I don't know if you've seen, but there's some sort of glaring broken mechanic in it.
No, I haven't.
Anyway, not mechanic. One of the buildings is completely busted. Beyond that, it has nothing to do with that for me. It has everything to do with, like, I enjoy these, and I don't know that I need a stripped-down version of Great Western Trail that plays in an hour or whatnot.
So I got to play it once on VGA. What I think is pretty cool is the workers are the extra cards. Right. I'm sorry. The workers are cards, and you just like play them for that. But you also use them for like a different kind of mechanic. I don't remember now that I'm talking about it. But I thought the workers as cards was pretty cool. And then I thought the train the train part was pretty cool also. But yeah, it's stripped down. Yeah, I don't know. I like Great Western Trail also. I think I haven't played this one. I think Argentina for me is probably the one that is like the weight that I would enjoy the most. This one's probably just a little bit too much. Yeah, I don't know. I think like you, I like all the Great Western Trail ones that I've tried.
Yeah, they're good. It's a great system.
Kinfire Chronicles, Nightfall. So I got this one earlier this month, maybe at the end of last month. And this is a campaign dungeon diver. So I've talked about Kinfire Delve quite a bit. And that was actually one of my top games of last year. And this is like the actual campaign. So this one came out first, and then all the other ones kind of branched off from that. This game has, I want to say it's 20 quests in them total. And the thing that is most touted about it is that it can be set up in 5 minutes. Like it's a 5-minute setup, and then to put it away about just as quick. Hey, Ian. So if you watch my unboxing of it, the actual lid is magnetic, and you just pull it off, and then that's the actual game board.
The lid is.
Yeah. So it's like it's one of those, right? Yeah, so you just pop it open. Then you have a map, kind of like a Jaws of Lion, Gloomhaven Jaws of Lion. So you've got the map already set up. You just put that in the center. And then every little space, there's spaces for every card on there. So you literally just put them up. The save mechanic, every character has its own little tuck box, and you just throw everything in there. So you put any money, any of your Kinfire tokens, any of that, you just throw it all in there, pop it all out, get it ready. And then there's a little adventure book, and you just go to whatever quest you are on. So there's a little loot box, which is just where you keep all of your available quests, all of the stuff that you've unlocked, like all of that kind of stuff. But the way that it's organized is just done in such a way that you can literally get it to the table in 5 minutes. I've played the first 3 scenarios of it so far. That's kind of like the introductory scenarios. And so on the first one, it really just kind of teaches you about the adventure book, and then it goes into combat. So it actually walks you through combat, which is pretty cool. It's like, hey, on your first turn, you get this special card, which gives you this ability. Use it for this, use it for that, and then
Oh no, what did I
just
do?
happened there?
My bad.
Did not know that was a hotkey.
Okay, whoopsies.
That's for whenever somebody gets in our background real quick, you just close that out.
I don't know who's running behind our background real quick.
I don't either. But yeah, so it's got like this cool like intro into combat, and it has its own rule book for combat. So then the next scenario, it goes into like adventuring. So how are you going to adventure? And it has another rule book for that, right? So it's slowly introducing you into the game. We were talking about it earlier. You have the Elder Scrolls. You said you've been reading 96 pages, right, all night trying to memorize it. This one, I'm literally playing the game, and it's saying, okay, here's the rulebook. Read this part now. Read these instructions, and it's going to teach you. How it does initiative checks, I really like. There's no like dice rolling or anything like that. It's you have different colored cards. You have blue, green, red, and then a wild. And so each character that you choose has like a different amount of those cards. So we'll say like, if you want to cross this bridge, flip over 3 cards. For every red one you have, you get this. Or flip this over until you get one of these cards. For how many ever that were not green, you lose 1 health, right? So it's stuff like that. And it's just done in such a way that the story is important, but it pushes the story quickly to get you to the boss battler section of it. And you're always going to have a boss battler section. The one complaint that I have about the game is that for the initiative, you're drawing chits out of a bag. And so there's always going to be 12 chits for the players. So if there's 4 players, it's 3 for each. If there's 2 players, which I'm playing 2-handed, there's 6 of one character, 6 of another character. And then there's 12 chits for the bad guy. And how they do it is they have like player boards. And then for action 1, you've got numbers 1, 2, 3. For action 2, you've got 4, 5. For this other character, you've got 6, 7, 8 for this action. So you draw in the bag and you pull out whatever chit. If it's action 7, the bad guy does this action, right? If it's one of your chits, this person gets to go on. I had one game where I drew, exaggerating, but I'm going to say all 12 of them for the bad guy, and I didn't even get a turn, right? So it like that felt pretty bad. It happened once. It hasn't happened since. I had to redo that scenario. But, you know, I could see that coming up, not all the time, because probabilities, it's not going to happen all the time, but it can happen, right? So that's kind of the one bad thing. Now, there are some ways to like mitigate it. You can throw a chit away, and then you can draw 4 more out, and you can choose the one that you want and stuff like that. But if you're out of those, that you're kind of out of luck. But overall, I think it's a really great system. I think it's cool the way that it's progressing you through the story. Like I said, I'm about to actually get into the meat of the game. There's 20 quests total, so I'm on quest number 3, and I've already got my choices of where to go. So it's pretty cool. There's 6 characters total, and the stories will kind of branch depending on which characters you get. So I could just replay it with some other characters later and go from there. So it's a good one. I'm liking it so far.
Okay. Legacy of
You. I streamed this one, and I taught Pat there to play with a thick deck.
Yeah, get the biggest deck you can.
That's right. It was honestly a great game. I had a really good one. I like the fact that they introduced the solo one-shot scenarios or whatever, because while I do like the campaign, you know, I'm not going to play the campaign over and over. I like just playing the one game. I've played the campaign a couple times now. I just want to play one and kind of done. And it was good. We've talked about it. There's the loop of the game, you know. you do this, you do that, you do it over and over and over. There's a certain point in the game where you just go all in, and you have to kind of really start clearing out your deck. And as long as you've built it up until that point, you should do pretty well in the game. So I don't think it's solved in any way, right? Like, you can't solve the game, but there's a strategy that is proven to work most of the time. And of course, you can always get bad draws with the warriors that come out there, or the barbarians. And the cool thing about the one shot is they do add some of those harder ones in there. They don't add like the fortress or stuff like that, but there is part of that challenge in it that does make it a little bit harder. I would say the scenario probably throws you in about midway through the campaign, but without any of the boons or without any of the nerfed abilities. So kind of have to know what you're doing in order to do well on that one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I liked it. What I didn't like, what I almost wish is it would give you a recommendation of like, oh, take this start or this loss ability or that, right? Because all it does is it adds the town folk that are part of the help you out stuff instead of some of the abilities, right? And I understand it can't, but anyway, that's.
I mean, I guess you could always just like randomly grab one,
Yeah,
right?
go find one.
Just grab one and go, because I don't know how many more times you've played it. I know you played it recently, but I'm sure you haven't seen a lot of the abilities still, right? Like,
yeah, no, I've seen so there's 12 different abilities, and I might have seen 4 of them.
Yeah, I think I've seen probably 4 or 5 of them. So Pat, I like the Diz rules, replay and learn with the app. Yep, that's cool. That's just built in. Bag pulling, non-building.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, Pat, it works just because, again, probability-wise, like, you shouldn't be pulling, that many in a row, especially because they are getting less and less. It's just unfortunate when it does happen. Makes it not fun.
Luna, I played this at the beginning of the month, so I got to go back a month and remember what it was and how it was. But it was, what was it? You were collecting resources to like put in a temple, I think. Man, I cannot remember this game.
All I know is you texted Joe and I and you said you really liked it and you wanted us to play it at BGG.
That sounds right. What I remember is like thinking, oh, this would have been a much better multiplayer game.
You did say that as well, yes.
Because it has like, you have workers out on these different islands. The board is like a, what is it? The camel game or the Altiplano.
Oh, like a modular board?
Yeah, like, well, it's like those little boards, right? And those are the actions, right? So each of those board is an action, and so you put workers out there basically do the actions, or collect the things to do actions or whatever it is. But occasionally the like moon priestess is on a board, and it's like that's a way to get points. Or there's a builder on the board, and that's a way to like build on there to make stuff more efficient. And then when you built into the temple, which is how you get points, there was like this cool mechanic of the tiles you start the game being able to build are low numbers, and then they go up to like 30. But when you place a tile, all of the people that are adjacent, that are on a lower number, get kicked off. And that was a mechanic I really didn't get to see in the multiplayer, because I was just able to kind of do my own thing. Anyway, I do remember that. It was cool. I can't really remember the game.
A month ago.
Yeah, from a month ago, off the one play, and I definitely remember thinking like, oh, this would have much better been multiplayer. So yeah, you know what? We'll play it this month at BGG.
Get a better view for the June in review.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was Luna. I think I'm done. I don't know. I've drugged this out because I haven't really been playing, but I was continuing my campaign with Spider-Ham and Cyclops. I don't need to talk about it too much more, but I think I finished the campaign. Pretty sure I did. So,
where does it rank based on all the other ones you played?
This one was so they've each had a different something to take you game to game. One of them added cards into a deck. One of them just straight up added cards into a deck. One of them you had like cards you could buy to soup up your deck. This one here had you got points based on how well you did, and you unlocked perks.
Okay.
And I really liked how this one did it. It was pretty cool. Hard to tell
Because you had ham.
because I had Spider Ham, and dude just wrecked stuff. He was a blast to play. I honestly really enjoyed. He will be. I'm telling you.
He's an S tier.
Yeah, when these kids are like 7, right, or 8, like they want to play with me. That's the one they play with because there's nothing you can do that's wrong. It's out of print now or something, so it's expensive. This one's out of print because this one's... Oh, no, this one isn't recent. Yeah, this one's like halfway through, so... Yeah, and the way that Fantasy Flight now announced that they're no longer reprinting their older stuff, or they're going to do whatever they call it, the...
Legacy?
Yeah, not legacy. Their core... They're like basically... For games like this and Arkham Horror and Lord of the Rings, the card game, right? These games they've been producing for so long, it's hard to balance a new card off of a card they made 7 years ago type of thing. So they're basically saying everything within, I think it's the last 2 years or whatnot, I can't remember exactly, is the current stuff that is what they're using for testing and balancing. So if something's broken past that, like it just is what
if
it
you
is.
play that with sinister motives, that's what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. There could be, they're not like intentionally trying to, but they're not going to balance every
Captain
previous
America
everything for. Yeah, exactly.
With what's the Thunderbolts red or I don't know.
So it has, like Pat said, it has inflated the aftermarket of all the people that have.
I've seen D20 Woodworking talking about it.
they can sell for lots of money.
Joe says this is an S tier campaign.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the way it did the perks.
If they never made Spider-Ham again, I wouldn't be sad.
Dude, Joe, do not like. I did it because I did what I always did, and I random number generated, and that's the hero that I picked. Man, don't knock it till you try it, because that dude was so much fun to play. He is like...
Joe, that seems like your perfect character, just crazy chaos.
Yeah, he is up there with the most fun heroes I've ever played. I don't know, his stuff was just so bonkers broken, is what it felt like. Everything he did. Anyway.
They're going to start balancing stuff off of him.
Don't do that. Messina, I've talked about this one a lot, so don't need to talk about it too much more. But I'm done with this game. I'll play once with you because I have to.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. This one just didn't get me. I tried it. I think I played a total of 4 times.
And just didn't do it for you.
No, there's. Not that I need like a big flashy move, but this one has nothing. It's just basic. Go here. Move once on the track.
Yeah.
Go here. Pick up 2 pieces of wood. Go here. Get a fire token. Go there. Spin that fire token.
Okay.
Like, there's no flash. There's no building up for like, oh, I've been doing all this cool stuff or all this mediocre stuff, but this is the big move that
stuff.
None of that.
Okay.
The way it does, we'll call it bonus actions. It's not a whole lot of fun when the bonus action is pick up 2 pieces of wood. Right? Like, I don't know. This one.
It's crazy. So he released Underwater Cities in 18, then Praga in 20, and then this was his next one. And I would say Underwater Cities and Praga are probably his 2 biggest games.
For sure.
Right?
For sure are.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, just this one didn't do it for me. That's the best way to put it. That's Messina.
I'll still be trying it out. We got one more game of it in you.
One more game.
I know where that one's gonna fall on the
Yeah.
the sushi ranking.
Pandemic. We also did this toward the beginning of the month, so I don't even really remember. I think we expanded our map more. That's what we did.
That makes sense.
That's what we did.
Doing.
Yeah, we've just been exploring. Man, I'm telling you, every month I play this, it's a lot of fun. So there was, I do know, Joe betrayed us and made us expand into the
East.
Yeah, I guess it'd be Eastern Asia. I don't really know where. I can't really remember on the map. But it made us start getting the zombies, the bad things.
Oh, I didn't know there were zombies in here.
You had to have known that, right? This is what the first one was about.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't remember, honestly.
Okay. I mean, I didn't think that was a spoiler because I was like, they're for sure coming. The entire first campaign was about that, and this is set like afterwards.
I guess that's
and it's been alluded to since the beginning.
I guess that's true.
The Hollow or the Forsaken or whatever they're calling it.
Betrayed. Joe knew what was coming, and he pushed you.
Yeah,
that way.
and anyway, the game wouldn't have made us do that for another couple months. I don't think, So anyway. But anyway, it's man, this one is a lot of fun. This is a just total blast. Constantly, oh man, let me go explore in Lima and see what's here, and we found a researcher in, Johannesburg. Or, I don't know. All of it has just been a total blast. We have really been enjoying this pandemic.
I wanna get back to it.
Yeah.
I have to convince Kirsten to. That's the hardest part, is just trying to convince her to play the game with me. It might be another 10 years before we can get to it.
I understand.
But
the kid shipped out of the house, and then you can finally finish up those legacy games.
She'll be 15 in 10 years, so not shipped out yet. But actually, maybe at that point I'll convince her to have it too. Yeah. Lacey reads way better than Devin.
We know that. No, she hasn't done that perfect. You know what, Pat? The next time she is hating her job is whenever I'll push her that, right?
I was going to say, she just said earlier today she's ready for the end of the school year.
Yeah, but that's different.
That's
than
every
hating.
teacher.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
It's every teacher in May.
She's had a great last couple of years. So next time she's like really like, I'm just so tired of quitting. When can I retire? That's when. So
I was talking to somebody today, just tangent about jobs, and I was like, because that's what it is. One of our people are going to like a real job, not a real job, but
no, it is a real job. Yeah.
Not a year-long job, I guess.
Yeah.
And I was saying something about like, my friends always tell me like, oh, come work with us. And I'm like, no, I don't want to give up my summers. And he's like, 95% of people don't work summers, but I've always had a summer. Like, I've always had one, right? You stop that.
I'm pretty sure that is like why people go into teaching, right? That is no matter what they say, betterment for children, sure. But your number one is, I don't have to work summers. It's not even summers, right? I'm going to my little rant
Teacher rant here that I've heard many times.
But it's about a third of the year you don't work, right? Like when it all is said and done between the random Mondays and Fridays and no kids this day, which we all know means you're not actually working. And
PD days.
And the, right, so Lacey, I assume it's you, but I know this for Lacey, right? I remember getting Thanksgiving break, winter break, spring break, and summer break, right? But Lacey gets one in October that's just fall break.
That one, yeah.
And then she has.
There's another one. Like,
she has another one in there. And the reason I really know this is because we're looking for daycares, and so it's figuring out like daycares that we don't have to pay for the kids for these days, these random breaks. So
summers are great, yes. And
Pat, yeah, Michael, you're also a teacher, right? I'm pretty sure Michael's a teacher. So if I'm insulting you, good. Because
You deserve it.
I'm surrounded by teachers, so I do not care.
We let Devin. And Ian's teacher here too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But anyway, I'm just telling you, it's like a third of the year that teachers do not actually work.
yeah.
So.
No, I agree. I do think it is nice. It's for sure a perk of the job. Anyway, that was completely off tangent
Yeah,
there.
that had nothing to... Oh, yeah, it was talking about Lacey's...
Yeah.
Other,
Lacey going to audiobooks.
other career.
I can't teach, pay more to manage my kids. It's not to manage your kids. Rasafa.
It is at Lacey's grade.
Oh, that's true. That is
Lacey's
true.
kindergarten,
it is true.
You're 100% just getting paid to babysit people's kids at that point.
That is true.
Rasafa.
So another Suchi game. I've played this one, I want to say it was 3 times solo. Finally got it to the table last week, I think that was.
Us, yeah.
Yeah, we got to play this one last week. And it was good. I like this game. I made a post about it on Instagram. It's a Suchi game, right? It's the evacuation. You have the cards. Choose which action you want to do. Choose which bonus action you want to do. I think it's 6 rounds, but really it's 3 rounds. 18 actions, right? That's all it is. There's something about this one I can't figure it out. There's the same amount of actions as there are in any of his other games, but this one is just, I don't know. I can't figure it out, and you went and did real good on that first playthrough of it. So
Try.
It's one that I like. I really enjoy it. I just don't get it. I need to figure it out.
I typically do decent at a build your own in-game scoring games, and this one had that. Yeah, it was good. This is not a top tier Vladimir Suchi game, but it's also not a Messina. So, that's where it sits for me. And I think that's saying a decent amount because Vladimir Suchi, I think, makes very good games. Messina is like the exception of the one that I'm like, I just don't think this is all that good.
Now, that one was with a different designer also. It was him and somebody else. So I don't know if that...
Maybe. But this one was. This one, I told Paul I need to play it some more. It probably sits somewhere around evacuation for me. It was good. There was a couple things I didn't totally love about this game.
The water, the rain.
Yeah. It had a very, very convoluted scoring mechanic at the end of every round. Really convoluted.
Yeah, we had to look it up a couple times. I was like, no, this is for sure what it is. And you're like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, this is for sure what it is.
Yeah, and like typically these games, I kind of one of the defining things of a Euro is like, point salady, many different paths to scoring points. And I'm still hung up on, man, I felt like there were so many points in that water section and compared to building out your little village or whatever,
with the gardens and the workshops.
Yeah. So the problem is I keep comparing. Yeah, and that's true, right? It's when you have a designer like Suchi that has like these,
bangers.
Yeah, A+ games. It is hard to compare against that. But anyway, this one was fine. I'll play it more and get a better feel for it for sure.
Do you listen to the Garfield podcast, Lens and Veil?
I have listened to a lot of them. I don't know that I'm like.
Did you listen to the latest one? They're doing a designer draft, is what it is. A board game designer draft. Long story short, they're picking. It's based on a soccer team. I don't know anything about soccer, but they basically explored.
It's 11 players.
It wasn't that many. It was.
I think that's how many.
It was striker, midfielders, and defenders. That's what they were. Anyway, the strikers were the people that it would be a designer that puts out games that are either like, this is a top tier game, or it's kind of a miss, right? Like, so you think about that in a soccer, like they're going for it. They're either going to win you the game or they went out kind of trying kind of thing. Sushi was, I don't know whose, but it was somebody's.
One of
it was like they can make just some of the best games, but some of them are just kind of like, you tried.
Yeah.
Like, you did it, right? Midfielders were like every game is good. Like they're just consistently good. But they can do a whole bunch of different stuff too, right? So it's not just worker placements. It's a whole bunch of different things. Like Suchi is not that. He is action selection. That is what you're doing on his games. So I don't know. It was pretty interesting. Yui was one of them. I forget where they put him. I forgot what the Defenders was also, but it was a pretty good listen.
Defenders makes none but crap games, but tons of them.
Yeah. I don't even know who that would be.
Yeah. Steve Jackson.
Is he Munchkin?
Yeah.
Makes tons of Munchkin games.
Yeah. So, anyway. Moving on.
Salt Fjord.
Salt Fjord, we got it set up here on the table.
Yeah, we got it set up right here on the table. So I actually just played this one. It was on the 30th. So I guess that was
You better remember
Wednesday.
it then.
Yeah. I was also very tired that day, but I wanted to get it played. It's good. I like it. First impressions. It's got dice drafting. It's got tile laying. It's got action selection. It's got a bunch of different paths to scoring your own kind of end game victory points. I posted a little bit about it on the Discord. In order for the solo play, you had to get 100. I got 78 plus the goals. So on your turn, you can do a bunch of different stuff, right? You can either build out your player boards. You can go fishing. You can do some upgrades. You can fulfill contracts and stuff like that. I went really heavy on this fishing here in the middle, mainly because one of my end game conditions to be able to win the game was I had to get at least 10 of these tokens. You have to score 10 victory points for like your own kind of thing, but they don't count towards end game score. It's just a solo rule. So I went really heavy with fishing, not realizing that you don't get a ton of points fishing unless you're like coming to the end of the track and you're getting the real dark ones. I also kind of neglected my player board building it out. So whenever I was drafting dice, I know there was one turn that I remember where I think I did 2 actions, and it was like towards the end of the second round. That did not feel good whatsoever. So I think going into this next one, I was kind of telling Devin, like, I think these workers here are very powerful because you can just kind of place them anywhere. I think actually building out your board over here is probably beneficial towards the beginning of the game, just so that you can kind of build that engine of the actions that you can do later on in the game. So I don't know. First impressions, I think the game is very good. Trying to see what it is today and just see if I can do any better. So first impressions, good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I explained it to Devin earlier today. I don't know what he's going to think. We'll see.
We will see.
You'll find out in June.
Yeah.
That'll be one big month beforehand.
Skara Bray. Dennis, if you're still here, we finally made it to Skara Bray.
The white and lighter white resources.
White, off-white, and lighter white.
It was wool, bones,
and rabbits.
And rabbits. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. This one was fun. I want to play it some more. It didn't blow me out of the water. Mm-hmm. I'll say that right now. So it wasn't one that like I was like, ooh, let me just play that one again right now. Also not one that I've really put much thought into since our play a week ago. I think it was fun. I don't know. That's where I stand on it, right?
Yeah, I think this game, again, it's a good game. We talked about it, I think, after we got off stream. This game was designed just by Shem. Shem's games seem to be a little bit lighter than like the
they're
Shem and Sam
all
kind of
mid-weight
games,
games,
right? He's designed Skara Bray. He's designed Legacy of You, Shipwrights. I think those are, and then Explorers, Raiders, and the original Shipwrights. And all of those games are the lighter games from Garfield, basically. And so not that that's a bad thing, but they're also just they're good games, but it kind of falls back at that Galileo Galilei where there's just a bunch of good games out there that it's hard to remember anything about them, right? Like, yeah, this one's really good. This one's not a bad game whatsoever, but just like you, it's not one that I've just been consistently thinking like, oh, what could I have done differently? How could I have done this? You know, it's one that I definitely want to play again. I think we didn't get the full experience with like because I think one of the big mechanics of the game is that passing of the first player token. We didn't get to experience that right away immediately because we weren't playing with the 3 or 4 player. And I think that's really the only thing that changes. And then of course, the gameplay lasted us 2 hours. It should not last 2 hours. This should be
so it's meant to be played simultaneously.
An hour-long game, right?
And
so
and we did say that. I think that you can ask Paul. I almost never feel time in games, and this one felt very long to me.
Yeah.
But I think it's because
when
we were streaming, we had to you go, I go, whereas normally it wouldn't be that. I'll tell you, I think there's still more to play and explore, but I don't
especially with
know
the different asymmetrical
much more
abilities, right?
Yeah, like
at least play each of those once, or
maybe not even
maybe
each.
not
We're
each
gonna,
of them, but
that's what I mean. I maybe think this is probably a 3 to 4 play max, and then it's probably capped out would be my guess of it. Because you're just doing you're always going to be doing the same thing, right? And I'll tell you the one thing that I don't know that I like. I like the idea. I just don't really like the execution of it, right? Is you make out your engine to get all of these resources, but like that isn't actually what's giving you the points. You know what I mean? You can. This is a game for sure. You can get a whole bunch of wood, but that isn't actually points for you in the game. You know,
it could be negative points.
Yeah, and I feel like every game is going to end up playing and feeling, regardless. Your asymmetrical power is going to be how you do the thing you're doing, but it's going to ultimately end up being the same in that like. Early mid-game, I'm trying to build up resources to whatever, do the upgrades or move my little tracks, and then that last round is always like, oh, how can I efficiently
clean everything out?
Scrap everything off, so I don't get hit with the negatives. So anyway,
but I do think it is I bet after more playthroughs, I bet you this lands in the 45-minute to 60-minute.
Yeah, it's probably
right, somewhere in there. It's about the same weight, I would say, as like a Shipwrights or the Redux, Shipwrights Redux. Probably a little bit lighter than like a Legacy of You. But I think this has its place as a filler Euro game, right? Like, it is going to be more thinky than your general filler game, right? I could definitely see myself playing this one with Kirsten quite a bit because, again, it's like that creature caravans. You're doing your async or you're playing it at the same time. So I don't know. I think it definitely has its place for it. It's definitely not a standout like Ezra and Nehemiah. Patrick, you asked between Anarchy and Bray. I haven't played the Anarchy yet, but I feel like that one probably does have more replayability.
Yeah, there's probably way more to explore and
there's way more content in that game.
In the Anarchy, right?
Yeah.
But we might play the Anarchy multiplayer, but Hadrian's Wall was a one-time multiplayer for us, and then that was a solo game.
Yeah.
Anarchy made a 20 scenario solo campaign.
Yeah.
It's very much can be just a solo game, and that's totally fine. So I think the Anarchy is very cool. I think I would put that like it's to me already. I think it will rocket ship past Hadrian's Wall. There's just so much more, and it seems like it's done. They expanded correctly
Yeah.
on the whole system.
It's like a re-implementation plus. They took all the good and added more good to it. So again, I don't think this one is bad. I just think it's not. Don't put it on the same level as like an Ezra and Nehemiah, Raiders of Scythia, Legacy of You. I think it has a good place for where it's at, but it's not one that you're just going to go back to all the time. So.
Voidfall.
Finally.
I think we were setting this up when we did our last review.
Yeah. And you have texted me a couple times, or we've talked about it a couple times of when it's going to come back out.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
This was really good.
I understand why this is getting so much praise. I really enjoyed this game. I need to play it more before I can really collect thoughts on it. I don't really have too many thoughts on it. We only got to play it the one time. But it was cool. It was really cool the way things work and interacted, and you either expanded and explored, and that's how you got more
resources or whatever.
More whatever they called the
trade tokens. No.
The gears, the production building things, or you kind of could turtle in and do it yourself, and but you were limited on your space, but you could also make the population go up, and that would make you have higher production. I don't know, there's just probably so much to do, all the different technologies. It was fun. I really enjoyed this game.
What I thought was really cool about it, and so I'll say, we've had this game for some time, and we haven't played it. And it's mainly been from me not wanting to...
it's a high barrier of entry.
It is. It's a very high barrier of entry. I feel like I'm pretty good at playing heavy games, and this one just seemed even kind of out of my comfort zone, mainly because I've heard it touted as this 4X, Euro game, and I don't like the exterminate part of 4X. I just don't like the conflict, right? And so the fact that everything I've heard about this game having tons of iconography, the setup time, I think it took us to punch and put everything out probably
hour and a half,
2 hours, right? And then, the first round, us having to look at, okay, what is this? Okay, what is this? But once I understood it. I got it. Like I said, we've played tons of games, right? We've been doing this for a long time. The iconography makes sense. It's been a month since we've played it. I can look at it again, and I will know how to play it. I'll know exactly what to do. I pick 2 of the actions from the cards. This arrow going this way means that this fleet goes this way. This one coming back means that I'm retrieving it, right? It makes sense. But if that is not generally what you're into, it's very hard to get into. And then the fact that I'm not going to say there's a lot of little minor rules, but there are, little...
There's a lot of rules.
There's a lot of rules, yeah.
A lot of flowing around.
But it makes sense. It just makes sense. What I'm really interested in this one is I like all the different houses, right? All the different abilities that they have, all the different stuff like that. I don't know how many there's in the box. I want to say there's
10-ish.
Yeah,
each with two different ways of playing.
Yeah, the more aggressive one or whatever. But it was good. I really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. And it's one that I definitely do want to play again. So again, this isn't really generally my style of game, but I think the scenario that we picked, because we picked the most, I think it was peace and prosperity.
And
right?
that made it fun. We got to build out
Yeah.
and see oh, we're getting lots of stuff. Yeah. And this is cool.
And so one of the biggest things that I've always talked about with games, or at least is that barrier to entry, right? A lot of times when I play a game, my first thought is the game's fine. The game's good. It is what it is. but in order for me to like really like a game, I have to explore it. I have to like play it multiple times, and I have to just keep going back to it. It's hard to do that with a game like this, right? But this one did captivate me enough to want to go back to play it again. Even though it is going to be a 3.5 hour playthrough, it excited me enough to want to do that again. So I think that's definitely a good sign. I think it was last year we played Nucleum, right? Like, to me, that's just a game that's like, I don't need to play it again. Like, I will, but I don't need to, right? This is one that I do want to. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Michael, we played the competitive. We do have plans to play the co-op. And
hopefully stream it.
And possibly, stream it. So, anyway, we'll at least get another play that way.
I was going to say, I don't know. The competitive took up this entire table.
Yeah, without adding
without the co-op
more
board.
components. But anyway, that is our month.
That's it. Yeah, we'll get this one edited at some point. Like I said, it is a 3.5 hour one, so we'll hopefully have it soon.
Was that how long it was?
That was 3 at least.
Yeah. We also had to like stop many times.
We
so,
stopped
like,
many times.
It's like be a pain to edit. It's gonna be a whole lot of video splicing together. But yeah, it was good. So that was our month. While it was a low month, it's next month's BGG Spring.
BGG Spring coming up, and
so
we've got a lot. Well, we don't have a lot in the tank. Let me see how many I have on my list. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of those 8, 1, 2, 3 of them are like filler games. So I've got 5 pretty decent games on there.
How many are older than 2023?
Ooh, that's a good question. 1, 2? 2? This one might be.
Paul is the hype man.
I am the hype man. But these are ones that are not, I think they're probably like 2023. Like, okay, this one was re-implemented, but this one originally is 1999.
That doesn't count. You would not be, it would not be on your radar, some 1999 game.
No, it would be. It's a Reiner Knizia game.
I don't believe you one bit.
I knew about it before it was re-implemented.
Do not believe Paul.
Do not believe me. This one was...
Anyway, so I'm wanting
2016.
us to, for the last 5 years, it's probably, how long have we been going to cons now? It's about 5 years?
2019.
2019.
Or 18.
I'm going to say this is roughly our 10th con. I don't know exactly.
2 from 2016.
The last 10 cons, I have learned Brass Birmingham, and we have not played Brass Birmingham. I am making us play Brass Birmingham this time. We are definitely playing it. So
so that you don't have to learn it again.
Yeah, I'm going to learn it again. I still have my references from the first time we were going to play.
I think we were going to play it after On Mars was the
Laminated.
original time that we were going to do it. And On Mars is still the only game that we have quit halfway through.
We realized at our first con with Joe that we picked nothing but heavy, meaty games. And day 2, like, it was total brain fry. Also, you and Joe realized, like, oh, we don't actually like to play nothing but heavy, meaty games.
Yeah, it's very true.
That was the difference.
That was the realization of, I can't play multiple 4.5 weight games
you guys,
back to back.
You guys both, and so they've since limited me to I get 3 games a con. Joe the Betrayer. Yeah, we are playing with Joe the Betrayer. Joe is going to come with some sort of silly Ameritrash that will either be
as long as it's
a
not
banger
Galaxy Truckers,
or not a banger.
We will be okay.
That's what I mean. It'll be either a banger or it'll be far from a banger. That's a guaranteed. Right? Like we last was Drapolter.
That was so good.
Total banger.
But he also introduced us Galaxy Truckers.
And then also Galaxy Truckers.
Yeah, which was not a banger.
Which was
at all.
Awful. Or What else have we done with Joe that has been silly?
We did. I thought it was a good one. Nidivlier, the auctioning game. I thought that was a good one. I actually really liked that one.
We did that deck builder where we had to build decks from like 1 to 10 or piles 1 to 10 or something like that. Do you remember that?
Dale of Merchants.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
And I ended up shedding my entire deck to where I had a one-hand deck, and it was awesome. That was great. They hated the game. I loved it because I leaned my deck down to one hand. I played the same hand for the last how many rounds.
I think it was this one with all the animals and stuff.
You had to put them in numbers. That looks right.
Yeah, it's Dale of Merchants. Yeah. So Dale of Merchants, you can't see that. Lightweight. This is the same guy that makes Lanes of Galzer and the same. They're actually remaking this game.
Okay. Anyway, that was cool. What else? We played, what was it? The Dark Road.
The Dark Road was terrible.
That was
Merchants of the Dark Road.
That was one of the worst try to be Euro games I've ever played.
Yeah, I remember you went the Dark Road because you thought it was going to be super good because it's the Dark Road. Like you're gonna...
No, it's not even that. You have to
you have to do stuff.
You have to do a lot to be able to even take the Dark Road. Right.
And it was like one extra thing.
Yeah, I remember it just being like, well, that was not worth it.
All the stuff that I gave up.
Yeah, that game was not. That was really bad. After the fact, roughly a year after the fact, Joe the Betrayer, he admitted he was wrong about that game and said it was bad.
I thought it was gonna. That was actually one that I thought was supposed to be really good, and it was just not good. I didn't enjoy that.
That's why you wait to see what people say.
We'll be playing Hegemony.
We are playing Hegemony.
Excited for that one.
Yeah.
You can be not the capitalist scum.
Yeah.
That you...
Again, you guys are making this sound like I didn't like the game. It had nothing to do with not liking the game. It had everything to do with me not understanding how
I was playing the game?
How I affected the game.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I literally just did my own thing for 3 hours, right? While you were doing what, I don't even know what you were doing. And Joe was doing
middle class.
Joe was doing a lot of what you were doing, right?
I don't know. What was Joe? He was middle class.
Yeah.
I must have been the lower class.
The working class?
The working class, yeah.
I think is the proper term.
Because I remember I had my own little field that I had at the end. And then the other dude, the guy that taught us the game, he was the state. He was doing his own thing. I had no idea what he was doing.
He was bribing us.
Oh, yeah, and he kept on bribing me. He did keep on bribing me.
Yeah, he kept on bribing you.
Just the lower class, the working class, trying to get on
but that was, it's not that I didn't enjoy the game. It's that I walked away like, I don't know what I just did for, like, you can't tell me what I did.
No,
I do not know what I did that influenced anything in the game, and that's like how I felt. So I guess I'm gonna try one of the others to see.
You had a vote, I remember, that like messed me up pretty good because at one point we were voting for stuff. And one of your votes like really affected me.
Here's what I remember. I worked very hard on the voting for like 2 rounds or whatever, right? To get it to where all the votes were my favor. It had to be in this one column, right? The round that I did that, the guy that was playing the state bankrupt, and it reset the entire voting track. And I remember then thinking, well, this was literally all I've been doing is
2 rounds.
Manipulating the votes, and it just got reset. And that sucked really bad.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
It's okay, because right after that, that dude took us to go play Deal with the Devil, and I had a terrible time playing that game.
I didn't have a terrible time playing
I had a terrible... Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, I did not have a terrible time. I just literally walked away like, what did I just do?
Did you win that game? Did I win that game?
No, I did not win that game.
I think I might have won it. I think I won it. I don't remember. And I think that's really all that we have planned.
Yeah.
We might play the Elder Scrolls.
We might play the Elder Scrolls.
Whole day of it.
That would be awesome.
I'd be okay with it. I'd be good with that.
Make
but We'll find out all
Stealth
in
Archer.
yeah. We'll find out in June what we played, but it will be more
Y'all
than
will
15
find
games.
out in June.
Y'all
We'll
will
find out
in June.
this month.
We'll find out in 3 weeks.
Yeah, what we play.
So.
That's all we've got. Appreciate everybody jumping in as always. Please like, comment, subscribe. All those things help us, help our channel grow. We'll see you on the next one.
See y'all next time.